Hi, welcome to Ed's Eats. I'm Ed McFarland, the chef owner of Ed's Lobster Bar, and today I'm making the perfect accompaniment for any outdoor barbecue or any light dinner. We're gonna make a cold pasta salad. I have cooked and chilled orecchiette, I have fresh corn, tomatoes, red onion, asparagus, a little bit of mint, not basil. I'm gonna use mint. You'll really enjoy mint in this salad. I have fresh mozzarella, and we're gonna make a basic sherry vinaigrette. Just vinegar, mustard, and olive oil. Super simple, a little bit tangy, a touch of a bite. It's going to be the perfect pasta salad to go with your barbecue. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop my pasta into the bowl, and you'll see I lightly have it mixed with a little bit of olive oil. After I cooked it, cooled it, and dried it, I drizzled a little bit of olive oil on it to keep it from sticking together. The asparagus were pre-blanched already, just until they bend just a little bit. I still want a nice firmness in them. And we cooked the whole bunch together, face down in the pasta pot before I cook the pasta. And one of the things I'm going to do first here is take off these nice asparagus tops. And you can reserve these, kind of put right on top of the dish, which is really nice, on top of your big bowl if you're serving it family style, or on top of your small portioned out plates the way you would sit down and eat during an individual meal. For today's purpose, I'm just going to take a few of them because I'm only making 1 or 2 bowls. I'm going to leave those on the side. The rest of these I'm going to throw into my bowl of pasta. And I'm going to reserve about 50% of these for another dish in the kitchen because I don't need all of these for the amount of pasta that I cooked. So very easily, we're just going to slice these up nice and small, the asparagus. You kind of want everything to be nice bite-sized so you can get everything in each spoon or fork full. So if you're at home, just kind of move the board over and drop it right in. My onions are a little small today. It's kind of funny. You want kind of 1 medium red onion for this. I have 2 kind of tiny red onions, and we're just gonna cut them into a dice. Save the onion ends for stocks and soups. And like I said, don't worry about perfection in the size. The perfection is in the taste of the finished product. So we have our tomatoes, and I'm going to quarter them. If you want to have a smaller knife and you want to use a smaller knife, that would work just fine. I tend to do everything with a chef's knife. That's what I find the easiest thing to use for me. But if you have a paring knife, by all means, paring knife is the perfect tool for this. So our tomatoes are all cut. Next step is right in the bowl. And one of the things that's really going to be beautiful is all the different colors mixed into this salad and flavors. Really, really beautiful looking plate on your barbecue table. So we're going to cut the corn off the cob. I like to cut it in half first. So I did cooked corn today, but you can do raw corn as well if it's super sweet. And I cut it in half so you have a flat surface to work on. And then we're just going to cut the corn right off the cob. And you know what? If it cuts off like this, even better. If it breaks off into small pieces, not a problem at all either. I like to see the big chunks in there because I like to eat corn. I think corn is a delicious summer treat, especially being here in the Northeast, the New York City area, where in New Jersey and Long Island we have some of the best corn in the country. So I'm going to dry the board off here real quick because I'm going to cut my mint next, and then after that I'm going to cut the mozzarella. because the mozzarella is fresh mozzarella and you're going to leak out some of the water and milk from the inside of the cheese. So, I have this big bowl of mint, but I don't need too much. And, you can do one of two things. We can cut the mint up small, or we can kind of just rip it up. And I'm a big fan of both ways, but I really like to see that it's mint in the salad. So what I'm going to do here is we're just going to do, instead of doing a chiffonade, like a julienne style frizzled cut on the mint, we're just going to do a quick small chop on it, leave it kind of real rough and coarse. And I will tell you, the mint really tastes fresh in a pasta salad like this. It's really a difference maker, and people will be really surprised by the flavor in there, as opposed to using chive or basil. So next up, we're going to cut our mozzarella. And this is a beautiful fresh mozzarella that I got from DiPaolo's this morning in New York City. Some of the best cheese that you can get anywhere. So I'm going to just do a slice right across the middle. And we're going to cut this into dice as well. I mean, I don't even want to put it in the salad. I want to eat it just the way it is. They're one of the few places when you get fresh mozzarella that it has enough salt in it to just stand alone and eat without having to do anything to it. And I know Carly is looking at that and there's some drool coming off of her chin, and I'm going to have to just cut a little piece off of it and pass it over to her to try, because that's how good it is. So I'm just going to cut the cheese quickly, and then after that we're going to make our vinaigrette. We're going to season everything up with a little bit of salt and pepper, and that is going to be our perfect summer barbecue pasta salad. Carly, how good is that cheese?
So good, delicious.
Okay, so we're ready to make our vinaigrette now. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to put this towel down to help hold the bowl in place, and if you need to, you can wet it a little bit because that'll help hold it as well. If you have an immersion blender or you want to make this in your blender at home, that's a very good way to do it, because you can put it in these quart containers and mix everything all together, drop in the immersion hand blender, or use your blender, regular blender, just pulsing it as you pour the oil in to emulsify, and that's a much quicker way. But we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to take a nice scoop of mustard, that Dijon mustard that I'm using. We're going to add our sherry vinegar, and I really like sherry vinegar because of the tanginess. You can use balsamic vinegar, you can use red wine vinegar, whatever you really prefer. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper now into this. We're going to whisk this, and then we're going to slowly add our oil to emulsify. I have my vinaigrette here all ready to go, and you want to put as much oil as it will take, or till you get your desired consistency of thickness, and I'm at that right now. So I'm going to quickly check the flavor, and that's really good. There's certainly enough salt in there. I'm going to move this over to the side for a second. I'm going to add some salt and pepper into this because of the tomatoes, the asparagus, the corn, and the pasta, just to make sure we have enough seasoning in here. And simple, everything is simple. You don't need anything special in here. You don't need any special dry herbs, any special seasonings. Salt and pepper is really all you need to season something like this. Let the flavors of summer speak for themselves, the asparagus, the tomato, the corn, and the mint. And you're gonna find that works very well for you. So we have all of these beautiful colors in our bowl. And I'll be honest with you, I probably could have used about another half a pound more of pasta. However, it's going to work out perfectly because there's no right or wrong to the recipes. It's just about what you have using fresh, beautiful ingredients. So you can mix this with a spatula, but one of the things for me is I really like to mix this by hand. So I'm going to throw a pair of gloves on to mix this. And I'm going to give a light mix first before I put the vinaigrette in. Then I'm going to put the vinaigrette in and continue to mix it. We're going to taste it, make sure the seasoning is good. And look at this. I mean, look at the way the ratio's in here. I mean, this is not just pasta. This is kind of an equal ratio of tomato to pasta to asparagus to cheese. I mean, there's a little bit less corn, but the corn is kind of there for just color anyway and just a secondary flavor. I mean, look how beautiful this looks. I mean, if you didn't want to have the vinaigrette on here, you don't even need the vinaigrette. You could eat this just the way it is, seasoned with salt and pepper and a little bit of olive oil. You don't even need to go that crazy. But the ratios are great. You could eat this as a whole meal. You could eat this just as a side dish. Bring this to somebody's house next time they invite you over for ribs. They're going to be super happy. I'd be happy. Okay, so I'm going to add my vinaigrette, and I'm pretty much going to add everything I have here. So look, I mean, it's easily mixes so well. I mean, this is a beautiful pasta salad, and it can't be any simpler. You saw how easy it is to make vinaigrette. Don't go to the store and buy those pre-made vinaigrettes in a bottle. Make this at home yourself. It's simple, super easy. You're not going to have any issue, and it tastes so much better. So we're going to give a quick little taste here. And I'm ready to sit down and eat. So today, it's not all about the lobster, unless you're grilling lobsters. And let me tell you, this is a great accompaniment for grilled lobsters. And that's going to be another episode, Grilling Lobsters on Ed's Eats. So be sure to keep tuning in every other week to see what we're doing, because you don't want to miss grilling lobsters. Super simple, as everything is that I do at home or here, because I want you to be able to replicate exactly what I do. Before I dig into this beautiful pasta salad, thank you very much for all your follows, likes, and comments. They really mean a lot, and they help keep the show going all the time. So please, we look forward to hearing from you. DM us if you have any specific questions about the recipes. I'm going to dig right into this. You gotta wait for me because I need 2 bites of this. My gosh. This is bursts of summer flavors, a little bit of tanginess from the vinaigrette, and this is your perfect summer side dish. I'm gonna go back and finish mine, start making yours. See you next time on Ed's Eats. Thank you.